Dit is Scoop with Alex and Jeff.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman.
I am Jeff Doss. What's up, guys? How are all of our insiders doing? We are on episode 301. Next week, is it next week or the week after? I think it may be next week. Yes, next week will be our 6-year anniversary. So pretty much it'll end up being around like Friday this week. So it's nutty, man. It's nutty. So 6 years of doing this. Yeah, it's nuts, right?
Yeah.
So how you been?
How was your weekend, man?
I've been good. I was actually home this weekend, so that was a rarity. So
you didn't do a tournament this weekend.
No, I did not do a tournament this weekend.
Look at this. I did a tournament this weekend. You didn't do one.
Crazy, right? Crazy. I finally stayed home.
Definitely some irony.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just sharing. If you haven't shared the podcast yet, go ahead, share the live. What's up, Sam?
What's happening, brother?
Yeah, so I mean, I went to the gym. I went to town.
You listed all the things that you did. Look, took a nap.
Yeah.
Look at what I got to do over the weekend.
Went
to Chick-fil-A.
Got to clean out my car, stuff like that. It was wild, man. Like, what the heck? Went to church.
I gotta clean out my garage. Lindsay and I threw a party a few weeks ago. That thing is still not. It's still not done.
No.
That's
insane, man. That's insane. Yeah, we had a Friday we had our last camp before school starts. So some people here started school last Thursday, which is a weird time to start. Why go back to school on a Thursday? But okay. And then some of the students went back today, and then most of them go back tomorrow. And then some don't go back till Wednesday. It's wild. We have so many different counties, so many different groups here. Everybody goes back different times, but it's that time of the year, man.
Well, I understand that it is that time of the year. I don't agree that it should be that time of year. You know what? I just
Labor Day, right?
Just the day after Labor Day, like every other normal thinking person, And it was that way. It was that way when you were a kid and you went to school, right?
Yeah, right.
Day after Labor Day. Same with me. Yeah. Same with any other person that I pretty much know. All right.
Yeah.
But it had to be something within the last 10, 15 years. It was like, this is a thing that they do. And I'm like, I don't get it. Right.
I think my senior year, they switched it. And that was the year that I missed. It went to the last week of August, or maybe that 20th or something like that. Wow. And then that year I went to Austria for World Championships, and I missed the first week. So yeah. I was like, all right, it's going to be cool.
But what I don't get is, okay, like my kids, our area, I love Elgin, Illinois. I love it. The school districts are not fantastic. I get it. Right. So we have the kids in a private school. It costs what it costs. It's just whatever. What I don't get is they still do school super early too. You guys could do whatever you want. Why are you doing that?
Why are you doing
it? Just doesn't even make sense. Right. Look at this.
Have you ever thought about
the state fair? Listen, I don't know what everyone else's their state fair is like. But listen, I would challenge anyone's their state fair against the Minnesota State Fair. They call it the Great Minnesota Get Together. It's literally nutty. I think a couple years back. Yeah, they had one. It was
went back a couple years back, right?
400,000 people were there, like, or something, like in a day or something nuts,
Yeah, that's
right?
nuts. That's
But no, but that so I guess what I'm saying, it starts next week. Yeah. Or what is it? Next Thursday. Yeah, so next week. Yeah.
okay.
That's great.
Nice.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
it's
gotta
gonna be
tell you.
good. All right, tell me.
So go to this tournament in Dubuque, Iowa. The
Iowa.
elite,
Okay.
yeah, the Elite
Yeah.
Martial Arts Classic. So
Yes.
Eric and Katrina Barnard, awesome people. They put on this
Yes.
tournament, and it's in like a big convention center. And I am like, wow, like this is pretty cool. You guys could grow like forever. You
Yeah.
guys could quadruple the size, be a-okay.
Right.
Like this is really cool. All right. They were really proud of it. They were pretty much on. I mean, they were maybe like 20 minutes behind, maybe, but there was like a definite reason as to why they couldn't be ahead. Like there was just one little mix up. It was like really small. Right. But
Right.
it was well run, really, really positive. Everybody had a great time.
Yeah, it's a WSKL event, right?
Was that?
It's a WSKL event.
It is a WSKL event, and the
Those
Wisconsin,
guys do a great job. You know, Jeff Orlowski, Mike Welch, they do an amazing job.
all there in
Eric.
attendance, and I saw all of them. Got a chance to say, "Hey, how's it going?" Didn't get a chance to have as many conversations. Jeff, I meant to connect with you a little bit more. Mike, great to see you. I secretly kind of wish you would gain like 40 pounds of dad weight, but you won't do it. That's all right. You're just not allowed in any parent pools. Wish I could have connected with you more. But I gotta talk about this one thing. This one thing that the Barnards had at their tournament. And I gotta tell you, I think it's the new thing. I think every tournament just needs to say, whatever, bite the bullet, pay whatever it costs to do it, and then just do it. And so there's this, we talked about, there was like devices like this in the past, but there was like an actual device where you hit it and it gauges how hard you hit, right?
Right.
But you have to be dead on. Like you could destroy the thing. You go a little too high and it'll give you like the worst score ever. And you're like, what the heck is this? Right?
Yeah.
It's literally the end result was no different than one guy at a carnival fair.
Yeah.
Like going to a carnival being like, watch me, man. I'm going to get the little ring right on the soda bottle. Right. Everybody watch me. I got it.
That's right? What we need. Yeah.
And then you get, oh, you got to get 3. You got to get 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5. Oh, you only got 2. It wasn't you. Come on. Who's next up? And then it was, no. I got 5 more. That's what happened. Right.
Yeah.
So I saw that there was some people hitting the thing and I'm like, that seems cool. How come nobody's over there? So I'm like, I'm going to go over there. So I'm telling Alonzo, like, hey, man, Alonzo Payne was there. He won the men's fighting grand championship. Way to go. Good job. You could have fought better, but you did a very good job. Right. So, I'm like, let's go. Let's see who wins between me and you. So he goes, then I go. And that's when I realized, like, oh, there's some like serious, it is not just power. Right. And so guys are just throwing back leg roundhouse kicks. And so I'm doing the same thing. I'm like, all right, well, I've never done this thing before. You're saying this is what to do. Like, I'm going to do it. So I asked the kid, right. I'm like, well, what do you do? How do you do the thing? And he goes, oh, well, you just hit it. Like, and he's like teaching me how to do karate. He doesn't know me. Right. It's whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. You show me what you would do. And he goes, oh, I don't do Taekwondo. And I'm like, dude, you know this thing better than I don't know. I'm looking at it for the first time. Show me what you would do. Right. He's like, all right. It was like bad. He's there with socks on the mat. And I'm like, it's okay, buddy. I got you. Just wanted to see. It's all right. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So we're having a blast. And like now there's a crowd and I forget the name. Oh, please forgive me. Super talented junior from Infinity. He was there. But anyway,
Trey? Was it Trey?
No.
Oh.
No, I remember.
Okay.
But anyway, I don't want to sit and do this over and over. Right?
Yeah.
So he goes, and I remember the kid, but I couldn't pinpoint his name at the moment. So he goes in there. He's probably 16. I mean, he literally might weigh as much as one of my legs, right? And he's super fast. And he goes in there and almost doubles my score. And I'm like, what? No. Like, I could have taken that kick right to the side. I could have just stood right here and been like, I'm good, right? Like, I'd have broke you in half. But then that's the thing. It gets you into it. Then you're like, forget that. 5 more. Let's go. Really? That needs to be the next thing.
Wait, Tom, they were charging you to do it?
Oh, and I was happily given money.
Oh, nice. That's smart.
Happily.
That's so awesome. I just
That's
figured
what I'm saying.
That was the coolest thing. Wow. Okay.
And he was like, $5.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like,
how many shots do you get for $5?
I think I did. You get 5. Right.
Okay.
Which I'm like, that's plenty. I mean, why not? Because it's like, not like it costs anything, you know?
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm over there. I'm like, here, let's do another one. Let's do another one. And then I probably did 3 rounds, because I wanted to hit it harder. Yes. Right. So then Eric was like, I don't know. I thought about making a division, but I thought it'd be kind of cheesy and gimmicky. And I'm like, no, I think it's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant.
Exactly.
And you think about it, it's digital brick breaking.
Well, yeah. Well, and then to me, so this is something that we talked about, like you go again, when we set up as a vendor at these fairs and we have our karate school, it's like, all right, we can't beat the dunk tank, you know what I mean? Or the
right.
What can we do? And that is what we were trying to find, something like that, right? That's where it is. So that would be cool, man.
Yo, I asked Eric, I was like, hey, so how much was this thing? And he told me it wasn't nickels.
Yeah.
But I looked at it and I'm like, 10 out of 10, I would have still done it.
Yeah.
Like 100%. Like I was thinking like, do I just maybe I want one for myself?
Yeah, of course.
I honestly contemplated. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'll put one in the basement,
Nice.
It's literally that cool. Like, even if you had it, like, I could see, like, if you just had it at your karate school and you were like, let's just have fun today, 100%. Imagine your classes today, Jeff, if you had this thing and then you're all right, after the end of class, we'll see who's got the strongest bridge hand, whatever strike.
Exactly.
Right. Back fist. You could like, yada.
I mean, it makes sense because whatever your kick or technique of the day was, then you put it in there and it, right there. Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. That's great.
So
wow.
I really hope some other promoter or somebody involved just gets one and is like, let's do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I mean, when I like for the mobile DJ company, for third shift DJs, when I take on a new like line item thing service where I have to buy another set of gear, I want to make my return. My goal is to make my return in the first or second gig. Like, I need to make my return. It doesn't always happen that way.
No.
Like, it takes me like a few of them. And this would be one of those where like you're not going to make your return right away, but you might make your return in different ways.
Correct.
Right? Example. Right? Let's say you have it in your school.
Yeah.
And now you're like, you don't make any money off the thing, but now it's just a really awesome, fun, cool thing that your school has, that it's just fun to now be around there. What's the value in that?
Right.
What's the value in that over like, I mean, I've never done the testing, so I don't know how long this thing lasts. You know what I mean? I went in there, kicked this thing a number of times, and it was like, this thing is awesome,
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a fun time. Have you ever
cool.
hit anything like that? He was saying it was like the one Joe Rogan was talking about.
Oh, okay. This may be the one that I've seen them have at like Karate Combat. I saw them like doing that, like Ross and Luke Rockhold and somebody else.
Yeah, same one.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. I don't know. I know the only one I've seen is it doesn't do power. It shows like accuracy and your speed and your timing of like how fast your technique was.
It does all
Um,
those. It does like 3 different things.
okay. Nice. All right.
But
Awesome.
and the same thing though, all anybody
Yes.
cared about was the big
The
one in the
spot.
middle.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
the max power?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
There was one that said like, oh, your speed is this or your penetration was this, but all
Yeah.
anybody cared about was what's the big number. I want to know what the max power was.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. Awesome. Awesome. Well, we're going to talk this week today about some of the stories of the year. We're going to talk about summer recap. We're going to talk about who we will be talking about at the end of 2025. And yeah, Abeda says they aren't cheap.
Yeah, from what I heard.
Yeah.
You should get
And,
one though, Beta. I don't know why you don't have one.
Oh, he probably has one. That's probably why he knows.
Oh, that's probably why he knows. Of course. Never mind.
My
bad.
All right. WKC Pan Am's Canadian Open was this past weekend. So lots of, cool, congrats to the winners there. I believe Maeve won, as well as Ryan won. Both of those guys won the fighting divisions. I believe they both won open weight and grands. Actually, no, Lynn DeGroot won the open weight on whatever day it was, Saturday or Sunday. So that was good. Wow. That was awesome. And then Jessica won the women's. I have a hard time saying her last name. She won the women's Forms and Weapons Grand Championship over some high-level people like Rose and Maddie. So Rose and Maddie were there. And again, everybody was excited to see how this played out between these two high-level traditional martial artists in Canada, right? So I believe they split. Rose won one of the divisions, Maddie won one of the others, and then it kind of went to someone else in the grand. So sometimes that kind of happens that way, right? You're so excited about these two, and then it kind of splits and it goes to somebody else. So that was on the form side. Mitchell Street won his first adult men overall grand championship. So congrats to him. And I don't know all the other, details on that, but I know it was a great weekend overall. And of course, it runs smooth. It runs on time. All the WKC events and, Bernardo ran events or Duvers ran events are amazing. So one
they don't
thing
play around, dude. They have a very good setup and system and support group.
Correct. One of the things I want to discuss, and because I saw some videos of Duvers school and all the students, and now, he's got Guatemala, he's got America, he's got, Canada, of course. But man, I've seen some highlights from the weekend, and it's something, dude. I think they need to be talked about more as a power martial arts school, just a school that needs to be brought up in the same vein as like Boston Taekwondo, because
thinking the same.
Because of how long they've done it. I think you look at some of the high level competitors that come out of there, like Arabi, right? Like you have so many right now, like Nico, like so many of these competitors that either came directly from there or moved over there and started working there, like a Cody, Deesberg and stuff. You have so many great competitors that are from that system, and even right now. But a lot of times I think we don't notice them as much because they did NASCA, but they didn't do it like the whole year. You know what I mean? They'll hit 4 or 5 tournaments. Right. Their focus for all the years have been WKA or WKC. And when you look at those, I don't know if there's been a more dominant school than that school, right?
Well, that's a great point. And as you brought it up, you kind of think about, I tried to think about, when is the dip, the downtime that they've had where it's like they didn't really have like anybody out. So like even great school teams,
right.
They'll have sometimes they'll have a wave of people that are really, really good. And like, wow, we got like a half a dozen people who are like winning championships. Like, this is great. And
Yeah.
then it'll start to take a dip. And then it, like a couple of years later or a decade later, sometimes it comes back up. And then you're like, oh yeah, of course they've always been around, but there was a dip.
Right.
I'm trying to think of the dip.
Yeah. I mean, I can't really think of it because even then they've had high level people, even in forms and weapons. And like, you know, and even maybe they didn't have the top or some high level adults. They had some of the top juniors that were in the world, you know, like, and
well, here's the thing they got going for them in that respect is the guys and the competitors that are very successful. They've also had a number of them that were successful and stayed in competition for a long time. You mentioned Robbie Lavoie.
Yeah.
I saw Robbie Lavoie competing for the first time in like 2002 or 2003.
I saw him way before that. Yeah.
Right. You saw him way before that. You probably saw him. Probably
90s.
saw a guy when he tested for red belt. Right.
No, not. But yeah. 90s. Yes. So.
Right. So, but you think about that.
But then, like,
who retired recently?
Right. Exactly. But think of the people before him that he looked up to. Like,
bingo. And that's where I was going. That's where I was going to go next.
Yeah. Fortunato, Dominic, those guys, you know, that were from that school that really like were high level, you know, like, I mean, Fortunato and Pedro had battles, you know, Dominic had battles with everyone and his longevity was crazy. Right. So, and then even guys that were like my age, when I was coming up, there was a guy named Mark Mansour that was one of the best junior fighters I'd ever seen. And he just didn't do, like, every time he went to an NASCAR tournament, he won, but he only did like 4, you know? And then, you know, like, but he won WKA championship, I think something crazy, like 8 years in a row or something, you know, wild like that, you know, from when he was like 9 or 10 all the way up to like 16, 17, you know, he just always won. And, you know, there were so many great competitors like that. So, we're also talking about Elise Gorel is from that group, right? You got so many in there. So,
well, yeah. I think that, you know, we should do another hand claps to Duvers Karate. I think they do a fantastic job. I'm trying to think if you were to say like a Mount Rushmore of guys
school?
from Duvers.
Dang. And I feel like I'm gonna miss somebody though. That's what's scary for me. Like,
I know.
dang.
And I'll tell you why I thought of the Mount Rushmore again. But go ahead, keep going. But let's think of what your Mount Rushmore.
Well, say it. Yeah. Oh, think of.
Okay, well, let's do it together. I think. Well, we mentioned Robbie. I think Robbie has to be there.
Yeah. I mean, I have a hard time. I have to put. If I had to choose between one of the two, I don't know. I think Dominic had more longevity, but I definitely think I would put Dominic and Fortunato on there.
Okay.
So the last one's hard because.
Yeah, what are you gonna do now?
Yeah.
So then listen, you could say Elise Gorel, but I think that her time was. I think she just needed more years, don't you?
Yeah, I'm sure we're missing someone that.
Well, duh.
I mean,
was John Fournette? Was he Duvers?
No.
I don't know why I'm placing that there.
No.
Okay. Don't look at me like I smelled something disgusting.
I'm just surprised right now that like Robbie's not watching and because usually his wife.
Someone chime in. What's your Mount Rushmore of guys from Duvers?
Yeah.
Who would I put there?
And that's kind of. I
don't think the recent guys. I think the guys recent right now.
I mean, you could put Nico in there would be the next one, right? But he still has some time.
Yeah, but I put Elise before I put Nico.
Exactly, because again, for me, like I always say, Mount Rushmore isn't the best from there. It's the ones that created legacy and that made a mark. You know,
maybe it is Elise.
So it could be Elise. It could be. And I'm sure
you think about because she's kind of like what I was saying before, and other people that I was talking about, like a Paul Bunyan type of thing, in the sense that, like, all right, it's this figure, like, yeah, people, there's video of her, but like there's more stories about
Right.
her than there is videos sometimes, you
Right.
know?
Well, and even you look at her, like the style that she
Well, there you go.
does is what we see now on the top of the sport right now with Savannah and Katarina.
Katarina.
Right?
Yeah.
But is that, I mean, a lot of that is her, but it's also that one has a lot of Trevor influence, from her time with Trevor. So yeah.
100%.
So right.
Appropriate.
So right. So I'm sure there's someone we're missing, but
Maybe that's the 4.
yeah,
That's
maybe.
cool. That's always fun to kind of do that type of thing, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I know. All right. So some of the stories of the year. What are some things that you think about as far as so far this year? There's some big moments that when you think of, all right, biggest stories of the year, biggest moments of the year, what are some that you think about of 2025 so far? Let's hear it, guys, who are watching.
There's a few of them I would say Bailey and Kevin going to top 10.
All right, so let's go right there. Let's touch on that. Top 10 pickups. Was that the biggest story? I mean, definitely on the fighting side, I would think so, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's the biggest because you look at it and you go, objectively, Bailey Murphy's the best fighter in the world, right?
Right.
And yeah, I mean, that's just the way it is. Yeah, he did take some L's this year, which is that's another story,
Well, that's the story is the real rise of Enrique. Like, truthfully, we've been talking about in the true rise of him, so
yeah. And I don't think it, like, you look at Enrique differently, like, oh, I didn't expect that out of him. Like, no, we all knew that was possible.
Oh yeah.
But if we had $100 to bet, we were going to put it on Bailey,
Right.
Like that. And that's not saying anything bad about Enrique. It's like, look at that's the guy,
Right.
We're always going to put the money on that guy until you beat that guy, which you beat that guy. All right.
Right.
And so him beating him, like, that's a big deal. So, all right. I love that. Brett's chiming in saying Tyson Ray's Warrior Cup performance. Listen, I like me some Tyson Ray.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah. I want to see more Tyson Ray. So
yeah. Definitely. Yeah, I think
I'm in for
right
that.
now you have him and Enrique in the same division, so that's and Enrique's on fire right now. So would love to see more of him. See those guys just keep battling. Again, you talk about the top 10, and again, Kevin going over there, Bailey going there. Really, you have that point fighting professionals pretty much all together. Besides Devin. Devin is a Century guy with JPM and Century Europe. So those two over there with Ty, Kevin, and Bailey. That's just a huge group. But then you also have all the young guys they picked up, like a Malachi and like so many from Ben's school that they've been growing and showing, and just continuing this legacy that's going to be great. Right. So, it's exciting. They have a solid female team right now as well, that's growing. And finally, I feel like a lot of them are really coming to their own right now this year, with with Brianna, with Lexi finally getting back after her injury, with the whole Kadir family being a part of it is just amazing. So all right.
So I'd have to say the top 10 pickup, that's a big deal.
Also, what that did too, it made this rivalry really heat up, with JPM and top 10, and it made it
well, yeah. And you got to look at it and say, and it's not like saying anything bad, but like the rivalry wasn't between top 10 and JPM before.
No,
that wasn't the rival. The rivalry was straight up.
Right.
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 And that's not saying anything negative. It's just like,
right.
He's the guy and he's on that team. Now, the only time where you start going, oh, wait, these things change is when you see Avery Plowden competing very consistently. Then you go, well, all right, never mind. Now we got to rethink life for a moment.
Right.
And I think that's what these guys have going for them is you take a guy like that who is still in the sport. He's still here, right? He may not be here all the time like he was 8 years ago, right?
Right.
But he's still here. And so when he wants to compete, like it doesn't make sense. It's like he ducked away in a cave and just trained like the entire time, like in secret, and just got better and better at everything. And then he came out and you were like, dude, how did this happen? You know?
Right.
Well,
So honestly,
he comes out and Nico's looking better. And then now, you know, KTOC Impacts, they've got a good thing going. You're like, all right, never mind. We got something going now.
Well,
they're the ones that can mess the whole thing up.
But before the top 10 thing, the biggest story really was Straight Up, right? With
100%.
Canada and Straight Up joined, like Mike Conroy coaching with Straight Up, you know, like Sam and his whole Canadian team joining Straight Up. You know, that was a big story at Rhode Island, you know, and I hope we see all those guys together again soon, you know. I mean, right now I know they're you know, Mr. Morin and
Dwayne Morin.
Yeah, Dwayne Morin and Kayla, they're in China right now.
Yeah.
World Combat Games, you know, or World Games is what it's called now. So, you know, lots of big things going on right there. Again, shout out to Ariel Torres for a silver over there. Huge for him, continuing that growth. And then I know his girlfriend won the gold. So it's huge right now for both of those guys. Just continuing to grow and just continuing to push to be at the top of the world of karate. So you know, we got that there. On the other thing is, I think, you know, the big thing is Century is on the Waco rise, right? That's been a big change. You know, you've seen it slowly over the past 2 years, where, you know, pretty much everyone knew it was top 10 if you're in Waco. But now Century has really made that push. So that's what they were doing. Because of that, we've seen some changes. We've seen more teams, you know, wearing Century, being sponsored by Century. We're seeing just them going over and, you know, supporting, sponsoring the USA team, all kinds of different things like that I think has changed the landscape in Waco, in Europe as well. You know, seeing, like, I'm sorry, but when I saw Corelli wearing Century, I thought, like, what in the world?
Doesn't that just seems strange?
Yeah, it was a big change.
You're
A big,
like,
really
what
different.
is happening?
Yeah.
So, you know, are you going to see the German team wearing macho next? Is that what it felt like you were going to see? Like, this is weird.
Right. So, I mean, it very different on that part. I mean, you kind of had to figure out that, you know, when Laszlo went and started working with Century, that maybe that was his plan eventually to get this, you know, but I never really saw it happening. But it is what it is now. So lots of change there. The other thing to me is Brume finally taking his spot. Like, I don't mean finally taking a spot. You know, he joined the team last year on JPM, but now it's become, he's consistently now up there with I'll call him the treacherous 3, but now I don't know what it'll be, you know, the fabulous 4. What do you want to call him? Fantastic 4. But
the fearsome foursome.
Yeah, the fearsome foursome. But, you know, him taking his spot up there, you know, consistently winning some grands, consistently being up there on stage with Ben, with Dawson, with Esteban, and just being, hey, I'm an adult, I'm on this team, and I'm going to be consistent, and I'm going to be successful, you know. I mean, you got to think, man, four of the top people on one team, and they're all just trying to find spots on stage. And I'm going to tell you, it's getting harder and harder to get on stage. They're doing more and more runoffs than ever, trying to get only 2 people on stage, or sometimes 3. Sometimes it's really hard. So
as someone who's on stage performs pretty much all the time, Walk us through that, because my understanding is
Yeah.
that every tournament can kind of do what they want as far as who goes to the actual final championship. Like, they can decide they want to bring 2. They can decide they want to bring 4. They can decide they want 5. It's up to them to do whatever they want. Is that kind of the case for every division?
Anyways, I mean, really what it is they try to make it consistent where, okay, all these grand championships are going to go to the finals. But hey, we need to do a runoff because, say, in traditional, it happens a lot because there are 4, actually like 5 technical like winners, right? Divisions that qualify for that. So
From
they're
one of
not
those
gonna-
divisions for like forms. Let's just
yeah,
traditional. Let's
so
just
you
say what they
have
are.
Korean, you have the Japanese, you had the traditional challenge, which is the same. Sometimes it's the same person. When it isn't, that creates a whole mess. Kimpo, and then you have soft or Chinese. Now, Chinese is a weird one too. If, say, Singal wins, well, he should probably do the CMX because he's doing a lot of flips and stuff. But if someone else wins, maybe they won't. They'll do traditional. So that is a rule I can't stand. It makes no sense that they can choose. I think then you just need to go ahead and have a traditional Chinese and then an open style one. Or say, hey, this is just what it is. You have to mark it ahead of time. You can't chit, well, let me see which one I want to do. So you got 5 there. So a lot of times, like say at battle, they only wanted 2. They had to knock it down. We had 5 of us in the runoff. They knocked down 2. Sometimes they'll knock it down to 3. Sometimes I've done before where they went ahead, like at, I think the 2022, 3 of the tournaments that I did, they went ahead and just ran the grands during the day. So you really don't
It just
know.
make more sense. This is why it's like, oh my gosh, the formula was just so simple. Wouldn't it just make more sense then to just say, here we go. Everybody gets a penance for winning their division. Here you go, $100. There you go. We
Yeah.
know it covers barely a little bit more than your division. And then
Right.
now we're going to do one runoff, and we're going to bring 4 guys to stage.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter whether it's creative, it's musical, it's Japanese, it's Korean. We're bringing 4 guys.
Yeah.
Because the goal is to bring guys to stage, more,
Right.
bring more, highlight more people, yet take some stuff off the
Yeah.
stage at the same
Yeah.
time. So you're like, you
Yeah.
just shoot
So,
yourself in the foot. So
so
if you
like,
do it that way, then it's just like the best guy wins.
yeah, I mean, they've
They gotta
done
go
a lot of
backwards.
in 2000, I'd say 13, 14, 15 was when they were doing, they technically had runoffs or they had grands. Like they had a traditional grand and they had an open grand, right? CMX grand. And they were supposed to take the top 2 from that and take them up there. So they had 4. But most of the time, they would just not do it during the day and take all of us. And then whoever was, say, if you got second in of the traditional, you got your runner-up money. You got your, if you won, you were the number 1 of the traditional. They gave you that money even if you didn't win the overall. So if you won the overall, you won your divisional grand and you won the overall. So if most of the time you were getting some type of money, by being on stage.
Yeah.
And again, I think you make it to stage, you should get paid. I just, because here's the deal. To do that, you had to win your division. You had to win a runoff. Sometimes you had to win, like when we're talking about being on stage for the Warrior Cup, like I had to, especially if you're taking the senior spot, you have win your division, win your grand, and then you have to beat the female grand champion winner as well and the 50+ winner. So you've done 3 things just to get up there to get on stage. So you did more than most others, right? So Leandro's saying, what would you take off stage? Well,
that's what I was saying, because we have, even if you only have 2 guys for CMX, 2 guys for traditional, if you got rid of it and made one division with 5 guys, you actually save time and you highlight one more athlete.
But he's saying you're saving time because there's less transition back and forth. It's just one division. Yeah, right. So, and again, that's for me. I'm a person that likes, I say, all traditional, all open. So I feel like the same way, but you do the top CMX guys, weapons and forms, boom. And then traditional weapons and forms, boom. You put that all together. Because to me, that makes more sense and it's more comparable. So,
but I also would get rid of the C in the CMX. I've also been on record for that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. I just think that you can only do that if you have criteria of things you have to do. Because if not, then it just becomes not a martial arts. No, then it has no martial arts background at all in the form, and that's what happened. That's why they did it, because there wasn't that much martial arts in it. So when you have criteria saying, all right, you need to do 3 kicks without putting your foot on the ground. You need to do.
You're saying when you would watch, and I'm going to use this guy's name, and I love his performances. When we would watch guys like Sammy Vasquez, all right?
Yeah.
When he would go out there and do 3 punches and then do 9 gainers, right? Are you basically saying something like that?
Yeah, I'm not really like trying to single him out.
I'm not. No, I already said, and I love.
There are some, that
there's
I mean,
that
most fun forms I've seen was a kid who came out, just did flips and just did windmills the whole form. Like, okay, but that's not really martial arts, right? So I think there needs to be a combo of the two. So the reason why
if you
someone like myself, this is the reason why someone like myself could compete with the high level trickers in the NBL, because there was a criteria that kind of.
But you were also competing with them in NASCA too, and there wasn't the criteria.
Not necessarily. I wasn't at that time when I was younger. Well, maybe I was. All right.
Yeah, you were when you were younger.
No, at that time though, they had already made the creative division by 2004. So
yeah.
Now, all right. In juniors, you're right. I was. All right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, as an adult.
Look at that time. That's what I'm trying to get at. So look at that time frame for both the juniors and the adults. There would be guys like you, Anthony Murata. All right. And even in the girls, it would be like other ones like that where they would be very competitive too. And because we've been talking about we're getting like,
let's be honest, it was at that point where they weren't really winning. Okay. Now
it was trending the other way.
It was trending the other way. So when you looked at some of the ones where it was like, hey, we need to have focus on choreography, or we need to have focus on some type of martial arts. And you said you actually had, all right, your score should show 25% of this, 25%. This should be where it should be at. 75% of the form should have martial arts, right? When you have just those in there, you're giving some type of direction for your judges to go. Instead of, whoa, I've never seen anything like that.
I don't disagree with that. That's a good point.
You know what I mean? So that's all I mean. And I'm not saying that, we should get rid of all the flips. And I'm not saying that. No. But there has to be a level of what we're doing, right? So I'm kind of, again, I don't think creative is what it should be all the time. I think some people are pushing it in a level that's really cool. I think, unfortunately, some of the people that should be in creative don't compete in creative, and that's what's sad. Like a Salif Khalis, who's one of the most creative competitors, doesn't do creative. So you have things like that, right?
That's a great example,
right? Of why, I don't know.
Of why the creative division doesn't work, because Salif is just going to go where it's the perceived best competition is, right? There's no handcuffs here. I want to go there and I want to beat the best because I believe I am the best. And you go, well, yeah, that makes total sense. So why would I go in that division where it handcuffs me from viewing everything that I can do when the other guys who were doing this one are really going to try? It just doesn't work unless
like I said
only
before,
if you do the John Valera route where you go, all right, I'm going to do this thing. If I win, I'm doing that thing. And I don't think you can do that.
No, they won't
I
let
think
you
the
do that
rules
anymore.
prohibit you from doing that.
Yeah, they stopped that a long time ago. So, you know, so I mean, and that's one of my beefs when people say, "Oh, back in the day, the Korean forms people won all the time." No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
It was just
They may have
John.
won their division, but none of them did an actual Korean form in the Grand Championship. None of them did. John Chung did not compete with a Korean form in those Grand Championships. He won them. He did musical forms, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
you know,
That's a good
even
point.
some guys like Michael Dietrich, they would do a musical form. Marcel Jones, every time he won, he didn't do a Korean form. He did his creative form, you know? So
Yes.
there was a lot of difference on that, right? So, all right, so we went all over the place on this, but that was fun. That's why we
okay.
do that.
That's what we do.
That's what we do. But yeah, so making finals for forms, it can be tough, you know. And then again, I've talked before, several divisions, several tournaments. They haven't put the women's traditional weapons grand in the finals. They just said, "Oh, we're just going to go ahead and run off right now." There's a lot of different ones there that happens that way, right? All right. Summer recap, man. What have we been doing, man? What's it's
Like I told you before,
yeah.
I've been done with this summer weather since like June 2nd. I was
Oh,
over
that's
it.
right. Yeah.
Over it.
Cool here
I'm
lately.
ready for late November now. It gets so bad.
I
Right?
don't know about that.
Yes, you know what? And I'll tell you, I promise. People like to be inside and look outside at
Outside, that's
summer.
true. That is
Nobody
true.
actually
You're
wants to
one of
be
those-
in it.
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
it's
obviously, let's just look at our two complexions, right? I'm obviously someone who's not outside a lot. Okay, all right, but I do love it. But yeah, I'm not outside. I'm in the car, you know. All right,
that was funny.
embrace the taste. Okay,
Embrace the paste.
so
Yo, but for real though, because like we've got this thing, right? Lindsay bought this thing. We threw a party, and then we were gonna set this whole big thing up because we're gonna have kids there. And we're like, it's gonna be too much. We're not gonna do it. I'm actually glad we didn't do it because I didn't realize how big it was. But we got a bouncy house water slide. We just bought one, right?
okay,
So it's a big old bouncy like whole thing with a water slide and water jets and everything, right? This thing's massive. So you set it up and it's like literally like you're at like a carnival fair or something like that.
right,
Like this is awesome. But even then, like the kids want to go on it for a little bit and then they're dying. They're like, I'm actually dead. Right?
Yeah.
So, like dude, sometimes summer sucks.
yeah,
This sucks, right? I'm over it. Done. But I did love it. We've been having a great time. I'm going to speak fall into existence because it's going to be here in a few weeks, and that's just the time I want to live in, which is going to be.
we're getting weird. It's weird over here. The leaves
what's
already
that?
started changing here.
Oh, I'm
like-
so jealous.
Like it already, and they were falling the other day. Like what in the world? Like, are we getting fall already? Like it's been weird, man. So I don't know. It's
Dude,
wild.
now where you're at, it's got to like the fall has got to be just gorgeous out there.
Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's the best. Yeah, it's great.
Cool.
It's great.
Do you have like fall festivals out there?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. I'm always, and I have to book them and then be like, all right, you guys are going to work this one. I'm going to be at Diamond Nationals.
Oh, like the karate school.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I have, we have the big one down here is the Railroad Festival. Okay. So that's a big one in Appomattox.
Railroad
all right?
Fest.
Railroad Festival. Yeah, it's a big one, huge one. So lots of good things there, but that's the weekend always of Diamond. So yeah. All right.
Well,
So
yeah.
listen. What you say? Yeah, what are you gonna do? He
It's
said it's
only 95. Listen,
Are we talking? Yeah.
if it's 82, it's too much for me, man. I can't handle it. My dad was in town last week Like he came
Yeah.
in town like right before I came to went on live to do the show. And then last week, and he moved, promise this is the case. He moved from Duluth, Minnesota, which is like north, right? North Minneapolis, north, like 2.5 hours north of Minneapolis.
Okay.
And he moves to Central Florida, right?
Jeez. Okay.
Not even near a coast, right?
Just central.
And then he's like, no, I'll go to listen, this messed up. He's like, nobody goes outside. Nobody goes outside. But you don't dress for the weather. He said you dress for the air conditioning.
Yes.
Promise this
Yes.
is the case.
True.
And then he's like, when he
think that's
gets
the
down
worst.
there, he goes, Central Florida will be good because we won't have to worry about hurricanes or anything like that, which I guess is mostly the case.
Yeah.
However, he learned that the tornadoes are like a pretty big deal, the spin-offs of them.
Okay.
Look at that, man. Why? Who needs? There's a lot of people in warm states that listen to the show. I don't get it, guys. The Midwest is here for you guys. We're perfect. Come on up. Yeah, there's snow, but it goes away.
Okay. I don't know, man. Anyways, but like in Central, like you're not that far from if you want to get to the beach or whatever. Like you're right in the middle. You can kind of go everywhere, which is nice,
He ain't
right?
going nowhere.
He's not gonna go to the beach. Just go to the beach. No. All right. Whatever.
Heck no. He's
All
an
right. So for
awesome,
me,
like
I didn't do.
community. He ain't going nowhere.
I still feel like I haven't had my summer yet. So like, yeah, seriously, like I've had tournaments
See?
and I haven't. Yeah.
So
it's
me,
kinda-
summer sucks.
yeah, summer sucks. So it one thing for me I think was fun. Well, it's fun, was just interesting. Is so we as Team Revolution, we always get a house every year at US Open, and so this year
What do you mean?
we-
You get
we-
a house? What does that mean?
yeah, we like rent a house for the week of US Open, and everybody stays in it. And
Like,
so every year
In
it's
Disney?
outside
Or
of
like
like
just in
Kissimmee.
Kissimmee somewhere?
Yeah, Kissimmee. So we've done that the past few years, and every year it's just always interesting of what this house is going to be like, right? So this year, I'm just going to say, man, it was pretty bougie. All right, it was like they had a Louis
Nice?
Vuitton. No, like gaudy, like it was like, really? We're trying a little too much here. All right, you had a room that was Louis Vuitton themed. Then you had a room that was Gucci themed. Then you had a room that was all Harry Potter themed. Then you had the room that was Aladdin themed, and they had like this crazy, like, just think of like an Aladdin type bed, right? And it had the ceiling like that. Then you had the Minions room. Then I mean, it's for kids and stuff. It was cool, but it was just a little crazy, right? It was just like, all right. So
You stay in the
Yeah.
Minions room?
I had to stay in the
No, I
Harry
mean,
Potter
here, like what room? Well, what theme room did
I was in the
you
Harry
stay
Potter
in?
room. Yeah. Harry Potter. Yeah. Yeah. So, Alex, are you okay there, man? He's like super slow. Look at him. He's like 18
It's kinda
minutes
cool.
behind. He literally was 30 seconds behind. That's awesome.
Yeah, I am noticing that. I'm noticing. Is it back to normal now?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it is. All right. So that was always cool, right?
Yeah, that was
I
pretty
think that was the only time. I think that was the only time I actually got into a pool this summer. So yeah, I'm pretty bad about all that. So, all right, we're like past this first half of the year. We've had US Open. We've had all the craziness, right? All the big stuff. Okay, go back. Yep. We had Capital Classics. You know, we have people doing you know, all of the WKF, USA, NKF, AAU, all the national stuff. So how are we going to end this year? All right. Who will we be talking about at the end of 2025? Who's going to make that shift? Who's going to make that change and make sure that the second half of the year is going to be their year, right? Who's going to finish, with that diamond or with the the Grands at Amerikick and Cowboy Up and Toronto, or who's going to make the big splash at WKC Worlds, Waco Worlds, WKU Worlds, like who are going to win those events? We have a lot of people going to Wales for ICO, right? We have a lot of people that are going to Norway, for the World Games. There's so many different events happening that people are excited. We got Bristol still as a big event, right? So who is it that we will be talking about at the end of 2025? Who's going to make that change? So I always give this example of many times the people that start the year have a big, first half of the year is huge. And then all of a sudden someone comes up and takes that second half of the year from them. Right. And we've seen this before because we did this our first year. We had, our first year that we had Martial Arts Center Network. The first half of the year, it was all about Cam Dawson.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the year, we still all gave it to Avery because the way he ended the season, right? But truthfully, probably the full year was probably Cam's year. But sometimes it's how you end that kind of takes people away. Like, oh man, this person is grabbed at the end of the year, right? And I think again, a lot of times it's because of the Diamond. The Diamond Nationals really makes a big difference.
I mean, it's worth like 3 tournaments.
A lot of times, yeah. So, and honestly, though, this year, I think again, if you win the open weight at Amerikick, that's always been a good one too to show because this year you have, and even last year too, you have the guys from Europe coming, you have Bailey, you have the high level people coming. You have Avery Plowden going as well. You have all those guys there all in one tournament. So that's going to be an interesting one. But who do you think we're going to be talking about at the end of 2025? Who's going to make that turn?
All right. From the fighting standpoint, I mean, I still think there's no way we don't bring up Bailey Murphy's name. Whether he's the guy winning or not.
Right.
Listen, here's what I'll say. I'll say who I really think we're gonna say, and then I'll say like here's some dark horses. Okay. I do think we're gonna mention Avery Plowden as he won this, whether it's the Diamond or it's like
Amerikick,
open weight. I think we're gonna or the next World Championship.
Yeah.
Remember what he did? I think it was last year. When he dropped that guy with the jump turn side kick.
Yeah.
Dang. That was an awesome kick, right?
Well, and again, we got to talk about as well, Bailey dropping the guy in Guatemala. Woo.
Okay. You're talking about what he just did, when he just decapitated the guy?
Yeah.
Listen, the kick, that's where it's like, okay, the kick itself, it was a very good kick, right? When you're backpedaling like that. And like the moment I saw from the clip, like the first 2 steps, I'm like, this could be a thing. All right.
Oh,
the guy did not see it. And I'm like, oh, it's not gonna be good. Right. But when he got hit, it was like he got shot in the back.
Exactly. It was a crazy reaction.
Yeah. It was like he got kicked. Because he dove forward and Bailey he didn't just jump out of the way. He jumped and he disappeared.
Yeah.
I've jumped and switched. I've jumped, got out of the way. No, Bailey disappeared from that man's sight, right? Completely. And when he got hit like right in the middle of the forehead. And so the guy's head snapped while his body was falling. So when he snapped, he spun. And it literally looked like he got shot in midair. Yeah. So the aftermath of the kick was almost better than the kick.
Right. It definitely was. Yeah.
Find a way to capture 3 different angles. Who will do that? that might be the more impressive thing, is the fact that he could get that and get all the footage of that and then be able to put that together. That might be the coolest part.
So Drew's saying he thinks Enrique and Christian, definitely Christian.
No. I don't think that those are wrong takes.
All
right. Another one.
On the heavyweight side, who's been consistent this year and has really stepped up is Kareem. Kareem has done that, right? So Christian at Capitals kind of said, all right, this is my time. I'm going to take it now. So maybe he will be the one who kind of ends this year, off right. Maybe it'll be Devin Hopper. We're always kind of, he wins
Evan's
the open
always
weight.
right there.
Yeah, he won the open weight in Europe. He won, he won one finally at a Waco event there. So maybe that's going to be that push for him, right?
All right. Here's some like next tier for me. So we're like,
Okay.
all right, we're going to talk about these guys. I think we'll talk about Enrique. I think there's a dark horse chance that Tyson or Tyreek.
Yes.
Like when Tyreek, the Tyreek Saint is basically like the Allen Iverson of sport karate, right? This guy is just so crazy talented. You always think like this dude's going to beat everybody. He's going to win everything.
Yeah.
And then like, just you're like, damn, how are we looking at this tournament and you didn't win the whole thing?
Right.
Right. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, that's a good one.
But I think if you say, yeah, we're going to look at Christian winning like at least 2 more tournaments by the time the end of the year's out. I think if somebody said that, you go,
yeah.
This is a good point.
I think
the real ones are like, does Cam Dawson fight?
Mm-hmm.
Does he do it? Does he fight? Does he win something? And I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's going to be hard. I think now when we start to get deeper, like, could one of these guys go past their division and make it into a lightweight overall, make it into a heavyweight overall? Would be if you get like Alex Mencius wins a heavyweight overall, right? If oh gosh, I'm blanking. Like this kid, he's always on a guy I'm like rooting for.
Luis?
He's from Illinois. Huh?
Oh. You're talking
Mason
about
Bumba.
Mason Bumba. Yeah, there's someone who honestly
Mason Bumba has got all the skills, but it's like, yeah, but when Mason Bumba, like if he matches up against Devin Hopper, like Devin's got answers for him, So, or like
they were at it last year.
Dwayne, I could see Dwayne Morin in a lightweight overall because he's on the lightweight side. Isn't he like in the 160s?
No. He won the heavyweight side at
Okay.
At Ocean State. He won the overall.
So he's in like the 170s. So this is where it's funny. When you get guys like that who are like, are you 160s? Are you 170s? You're really tall and skinny. So I don't really know which way you're going here. You know what I mean?
Walker, he could kind of one weekend be this.
No, you're 100% correct with that. Kevin Walker is the anomaly. Right? If you say Kevin Walker won the lightweight overall, you would go, man, guy had a really good tournament. If you say Kevin Walker won the heavyweight overall, you'd be like, man, guy had a really good tournament. But you wouldn't say, how the heck was he heavyweight? How the heck was he lightweight? Right? You just look at him and you're like, yeah, you're right smack dab in the middle. That's what a middleweight is Kevin Walker.
Those moments. Jason had those moments in his career where he was like that, where he was a light middleweight in one league and he was a middleweight in another, and then he was a lightweight in another. Well, he was also light middle, it was back and forth. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting, because I mean, you got to remember, like in NBL, Jason was light middle and Trevor was middle, and they always matched up with each other in the runoff just to get to the night show. So yeah,
he was most that light middle man.
Yeah, definitely. So we're talking about that. Women, I mean, who's gonna really take it over those two? I think what there's a couple that gotta have a breakout tournament, right? We've seen Savannah do it a couple times this year. We've seen Paola take that step. You know what? I think when we see a full healthy Jimena, we could see that. We haven't seen that best this year.
It's been so long.
Yeah. The also, who was it we said? I mean, you know what? Like last weekend, Lynn making that big stretch to win. That was a huge one for her. That was really cool.
I
So
mean, like,
yeah,
it
I
would
don't
be
know.
cool if you saw something like that. If you saw like Savannah and Yemena fighting for the
Mhm.
overall, like that would be like, oh, okay, this is a
Yeah.
whole new look all around of two
Right.
new people that we haven't really seen, right? And that's
Right.
always fun.
Yeah.
I think if I was to put money on it, and I say like, all right, somebody new-ish is gonna win Amerikick. Maybe that's Savannah.
Yeah.
But no, I'm gonna say Katana is gonna win the Diamond Nationals.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's just there's a few things. Number one, she's the fighter she is,
Yeah.
right? So there's that. I think it's gonna be hard for her to lose that tournament.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I mean? Like unless there's somebody who's like considerably better than her, right?
Yeah.
I just don't think she loses that tournament. Now, here's the other crazy thing. I heard this rumor Morgan fighting?
Well, she's fighting at WKC just in the mixed teams.
So does she do another event of any other kind?
No. I don't
No,
think so.
not possible at all.
It's just that one, so her and her brother could mix teams.
I know the reasoning. I know the
Yeah.
excuse. But you know competitors, like once it's like, all right, maybe I'm not done. Maybe I do one more. You know how it goes.
Right. Well, I mean, there's some. I think right now it's finding that fighter who people haven't seen, right? Who maybe hasn't had the shot yet to get there, or hasn't been out in a long time,
Sure.
and they surprise people. So, I'm interested to see what happens with that. As far as the form side, I know we've seen some. We've seen someone like Maria, excuse me, take some steps to get into the grands, get in the finals for the weapons side, for the women's weapons side. So I think maybe we will see her do the same thing these next couple of tournaments. She had a great weekend at US Open. I think, man, I mean, those four guys, obviously, but who of the
Oh, yeah,
four,
you got to pick one. What are you gonna do?
who of the four is right there, right? And so I would love to see Ben Jones finish, with a diamond this year in that, I think it would be his time to do that.
If I had to pick one of them,
yeah.
But then he's Canadian, so maybe there's that. So there's certain things about the diamonds where you're like, oh, typically it's like this.
Yeah.
Ben Jones has got a lot going for him. All right. Now he's a Wisconsinite. That does well for the diamonds,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And so you're like that, but then
Don't get me
Esteban
started.
is Canadian. It does well for them too, right?
Yeah. True. It's true.
I think
So,
I'm gonna put money on Ben.
well, yeah, I mean, I think,
To win what?
that would be good for him, also Philip, we talked about him making those steps up. So I don't know, man. I think it's interesting on that part. As far as some other guys that are going to step up or females, I love to see, why did I just forget?
You sound like me now.
I know. I love to see Shaquan, make the moves that he needs to be in that top level, right?
Or at least
Another
just
one.
do something completely crazy and outlandish.
Yes.
Like do a
yes.
triple. Like just do like a triple layout. Do
Yeah,
that.
that'll happen.
Do something crazy.
The other person would be, like it's cool to see, you have someone like Colin O'Brien, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Katie she's won the diamond the last 2 years. So I definitely think, she
Yeah, that's
is,
not an under the radar thing anymore.
yeah. He's saying Sophia looked good in the women's Chinese. Okay. All right. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen there. Who are some people? I don't know. I think there are going to be some dark horses winning the diamonds this year, but also we have these next these next events, right? We have AmeriKick. What's going to happen there? That always changes some things. These last two events, two of these last 4 events really showcase the seniors. So we love what Toronto and AmeriKick have done the past 2 years of showcasing the senior competitors. So much love to those guys for that. So I don't know, man.
Maybe
it all depends who shows up. So
100%. I think maybe a more telling story is going to be like what happens in some of these local tournaments in September. Do you know that?
Yeah.
So, spoiler, right? It's my competitor of the week.
Oh, there we go.
Could make it up. I'm like, who's competing? My guy, Dwan Brown.
Yeah.
Not only was he fighting, and still looking like dang Dwan Brown, right? He's going to be fighting again, and I forgot where he said he's fighting. It's in the World Championships. So, come on, Jeff, you know everything. You know where everything's at.
Well, I thought he was going to Waco this year. I thought he made the team for that, but I guess not. He was still injured. Maybe it's not that. Maybe he's going to ICO. Maybe he's going to Wales. Is it Wales?
No,
they said he's going to?
That wasn't it.
Okay, then Norway.
Was it Abu Dhabi? Was it that?
Abu Dhabi is where Waco is. Yes.
That's where he's going.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
All right.
He's there.
Sorry, I sounded like an idiot for a moment. But anyway, yes, he's there.
We're used to that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Appreciate that you're not surprised. So, yeah, it was awesome. Guy was looking great. And you know what was so strange? I'm watching him. Dwan has a really good round kick. And I'm like, wow, I never expect that from you, right? Like never, right? Because like he chambers well, but it's never like shit, you know?
Yeah.
But it's always there. Like he's got a really good round kick, right?
Right.
Wow, that is very deceptive. But he's great. Yeah. So good to see him out there. He was out there fighting. He looked great, but he looks like he wants to improve even more. So shout out.
That's good.
My guy. That's why I brought up the Mount Rushmore thing, because I was thinking about him as the Mount Rushmore of Chicago. But yeah. He takes himself off that list, is what he voluntarily does.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know on that one. I mean, I would put there's definitely some people that have to be up. I mean,
because we've talked about this.
Scorpion.
We got Jason, we got Scorpion,
we got Larry,
Arlene.
There it is.
Well, who's the other one you said?
Larry Tankson.
And Larry, yeah.
I mean, that's
so then the only way he's on there is if Larry's not.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
That's hard to do.
No, you can't.
Because you can't take off a gold medalist. Right?
True. And one of the first people to beat Linda. I mean,
and you can't take off like
the
original guy who was like the best in the city in Scorpion.
Right.
And there's certainly no way you're taking off the greatest kicker sport karate's ever seen. Right. So
one of the best champions who won everything.
Yes.
And again, your forms guy too. But we're also are we talking fighting? Are we just talking fighting? Because I mean, what's up, coach? I mean,
coach?
if we're talking about just martial artists, that's hard to not put certain people from Chicago, like from Illinois, in there. You know, I mean, that's like.
Oh, now you're starting to. I was just talking fighting.
Okay.
Now when you start,
you're talking what you're doing. An all around martial sport karate, then you're talking about, you got Mike Chat, you got all the guys from AKA who, like Micah Carnes, there's a lot of craziness, right? So, yeah, man.
So no, I'm not fighting.
No, I understand. But when people when we say you're Mount Rushmore's people, and in the past, like when we did that episode, which I think it was one of the episodes I wasn't on, where we talked about Mount Rushmore's, it was not just fighting. It wasn't separate. It was martial arts.
Yeah.
And so that's
I think
hard.
you're right.
So that part's hard. And again, when I say I don't say the top five. When I list my Mount Rushmore of anything, I don't list my top five, who I think are the top five best or the top four best of all time. That's not what Mount Rushmore is to me. It's the ones that created something, changed, did something that changed the game in the sport, or was a founding father. You know what I mean? Like,
I totally understand that. And I think here's a better way to really gauge it. There's no way we can do it because not all of them are still alive. Okay. But let's just say you take all the people who were in the conversation, take like 50 people, all right? Whoever's like there. And they're all in a room together. Who does everyone gravitate towards as a like, man, I want to go take a picture with this guy. I want to go shake this guy's hand.
Exactly.
So then if you do that over all divisions, right? There are some people. I think you do it with John Valera.
Yeah.
I think you do it with John Valera. What?
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying now. Dang.
See, you get what I'm saying now.
Yeah.
All right. And I think probably Nikki Carlson Lee. And then I think it's still Ray and Nasty.
Yeah, but you didn't. Okay.
Yeah, there's a couple people I left, but I had to be like, I don't know. I just kind of feel like more people are going to want to go up and get a picture with how many. If John Valera walks into a tournament right now,
right?
He should be mobbed.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
I'm gonna want to take a picture with that guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. I might fly out just to go get one.
I don't think as many people know about Nikki, even though I think she's the best. I think, it's shown over time, the draw and the appeal that Linda Dinley has to the sport. So I think.
So maybe, so then maybe Linda. All right. Then maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not like that. And maybe like.
And again, I'm not saying which one's my favorite or which one I think is better. Totally. I'm just what they've done for the sport and
right. So, and the two of us think similarly, like we think Nikki's the best, right?
Yeah. Right.
But maybe you're right. Maybe it's just that everybody gravitates towards Linda. Like it's kind of like I hear stories of this, like in the NFL Hall of Fame, like when Jim Brown walks in the room, everyone stands up. You know what I mean? Something like that. Where it's like Jim Brown was a fantastic running back. Like, I could tell me he's better than LaDainian Tomlinson. You know what I mean? So things like that. But I think if you were going to do like a who's the Mount Rushmore of all Mount Rushmores, maybe you look at it like that.
Yeah. But again, for me, like I don't like that whole thing. Well, who's the Mount Rushmore? Like who's the top five? That's why we've been doing top five.
Yeah, that is why we do that. Top five.
Because again, it's the best, right? So
yes,
definitely cool. All right,
we didn't have a top five today.
We did not. So next week, guys, is going to be our 6-year show. We may just do a whole show of top fives. Who knows? We're top six since it's top. Maybe.
Yes. All right, I'm down with that program.
And if you want to be involved in that, let us know. We want some of our past guests. We want some of our insiders join us. We're going to have a great show next week. Congrats to all the people that were at WKC, Pan Am's, that have had a great weekend in Monterrey, Mexico for the Junior League tournament. Everyone that's competing in the World Games right now in China, all the other tournaments. Nice. I can't wait to see you in a couple of weeks, Coach. So it's going to be crazy, right? So lots of good stuff. Go out and support your local martial arts tournament. Go out and support your national martial art, your world. We got people going to all kinds of world championships coming up soon. So I can't wait, man. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I think it's got to start local. Support your local people. I think no matter what, I think that the biggest tournaments are really, really big because that's, people are deciding a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, like we saw that with Caps. Like the top end was still there, but it was like if you can't afford to go to every single one, sometimes something's got to die.
Right.
But and so sometimes that happens. But like your local ones, like if it's in your town,
Yeah.
right, you should be there, right?
Right.
Because
Right.
without them, you weren't a competitor.
Right. So what's the next local tournament? All right. Well, you just went to a local tournament, right? For you.
I
So
just went to one.
yeah. All right. So my next local one is Hickory, North Carolina. Mountain View Open is the one I talk about every year. This is a fun tournament. Friday night we have the poker tournament. Saturday, we have the after party, and then Sunday they have a golf tournament. Okay, so all kinds of fun stuff. Hanging out with everybody. My friend Joseph Brackett's doing a seminar Friday. I know I'll be working. I may compete as well. I'll probably compete. I think I'm the head coordinator of the tournament too, but I'll just jump in. I wear a suit and then I'll take my suit off, go in, compete, and then come out. It's usually what I do. And then
Compete in the suit.
that would be good with the belt on. So yeah, I mean, I think that is one of my favorite tournaments. I have the little flyer right here. So Mountain View Open, going to be fun, and it's a big breaking event. Okay, so some of the best
should get
in
the
the
digital.
world. That's right. Oh, I know. We should get it. We're back around.
Hit up if you guys don't know what I'm talking, because I don't know what to say. Hit up Eric Barnard. Ask him what the heck that thing was, because the thing was awesome.
All right, Alex, let's do this.
Can I, before we go, I want to say this one little thing. So my kids competed over the weekend, and I want to say how this happened.
I was asking.
I know I didn't, because I didn't want to just make the show all about me and my family. Okay, but I do want to mention this. Right, my son Zachary, he had no care. He's just out there. He's like, yeah, whatever. We're gonna go have a good time. And I'm like, all right, let's practice your form. And it was looking rough. And I'm like, there's no point in me, because he trained that way me leading up to it. And I'm like, come on, we got to really. And he was just like unfazed. And I'm like, I'm not gonna make it a negative thing for you now.
Yeah.
In hopes that it's a positive thing later. There's gonna be a negative somewhere. You're gonna experience it at the tournament. Like, I'm gonna put you in a position. We're gonna work hard. Well, I'm gonna try to work hard. You have to do the work, right? Yeah. He didn't really, and he kind of messed up, and it showed. And he was upset at himself. He wasn't upset at anybody else. He's like, man, I messed up. It's like, all right, now you got it. So Lisa was freaking out because she sticks the side kick. Mm-hmm. And then I've never seen anybody like, she sticks it, and then when she feels like she's gonna like wobble, she just doesn't rechamber the side kick.
Oh, it just falls down. Oh man,
she falls. And I'm like, how about just don't fall?
Yeah, just bring it back. Just set it down.
Just set down. She's like, but I gotta hold it longer. I'm like, well, number one, nobody holds it that long, right?
No.
Number two, just stand like a normal person, right? So that was her one thing that she was so freaked out about. So she does it. She wins. She takes first place. And a bunch of people came up to her and just said how great her sidekick was. So that was great. So Zachary goes. And I'm so glad that they did this. They had double elimination, right, for Zachary. So he goes and he's fighting this kid who's like 4 heads taller than him. He has no concern about putting his hands up at all. All right. And he's moving. All right. And this kid kind of like kicks at him. And he's done a good job of like moving, but he doesn't move in blitz. He moves in haymaker swings, right? Oh, and so he's knocking these kids over with just overhand rights, right? But he is like, his front hand is literally by his hip, right? He does not care about putting that thing up. So he's getting hit, all right? He does not realize he's getting hit. He loses. He's so upset, right? But now, and Louisa goes and she wins her fighting division 2. So now she's got 2 firsts. Zachary does last place in form and fighting. So he's all upset. So now, but he's like, I'm going to freaking win next time. I'm going to freaking win. So today, we're training today, and he was a blitzing machine. He was on it. I'm proud of him, right? He took his L's. And now he's back. I'm super proud of that kid.
It's awesome, man. That's cool. That's cool. Awesome.
This has been another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. See you guys next week. We got 6 years next week.